Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at 1610 4th Street here in Columbia City. Located up on the rooftop, going down through a 4-inch cast iron vent. I'm going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We do have water currently running. And it looks like the line, the vent anyway, transitioned over to ABS plastic. It looks like I'm sitting in a bunch of dirt. Sorry for no commentary here for a second. I'm trying to figure out what we're dropping into. I mean, it almost looks like I'm staring at a foundation vent. I can't tell if this is even connected. Actually, you know what? That might be the back end of a cleanout cap there. I think the camera might just be going backwards. It almost looked like like the vent wasn't hooked up to anything at all, and it was just dropping straight out into the crawl space. There's some gunk down there at the base of the vent that almost looks like dirt. If this pipe here doesn't really want to let us go, well, maybe we got it there. And we're going to pause the camera here for a moment until we can figure out how to get the camera through here. I think we finally got the camera going down line here. The base of that vent stack is just set up a little precariously. And I've got to pull back the camera just a little bit here to zero it out. We're going to zero out right here. I don't want to pull it back to the point where I have to do that all over again. Tricky line to get the camera to go the right way here. And right now it looks like we're going through 4-inch cast iron as best I can tell. We now transition over to 3034 PVC pipe. Also appears to be 4-inch. And I'm probably going to have to review some of this video at home. I've got sun in my face. It's making it a little hard to see. We just went past a tie-in there. And I think we are at the tank right now. I can see some debris floating on top of what looks like water here. We're going to go locate to verify we're at the tank. Then we'll let the whole pipe drain out. And we hopefully have a better view of things as we come back. But again, I'm going to probably have to review this at home. I'm just having a hard time seeing much right now with the way I'm set up here in the sun on my face. I located the camera head successfully, and we are indeed right at the tank. We're just about a foot prior to the tank lid out here. And then beyond that, the tank portion of it is for the septic companies to mess with and have inspected, which I do highly recommend doing that. This being that it has a newer line here, I don't know if it has a newer tank or not, but I would recommend it be inspected and pumped. And we do have a tie-in here in the sewer line, which we will get that roughly marked here at 38 feet, about 5 feet back from the tank. We'll put a Y marking down here. I do recommend trying to verify what that is. It's very possibly a shared sewer line with the neighbor. Especially seeing that when it's updated, it wouldn't surprise me if that's the setup here, but I would check in to make sure that that is a conforming connection there, that's not out of code or anything of that nature. Some cities don't care about parties, some do. I'm not familiar with Columbia City and how they look at those. But I'll get that marked with there'll be a white Y marking about 5 feet away from the septic tank lid. And if I were to wager a guess, if you're standing here at the back of the house looking out towards kind of the gravel alleyway, more than likely, if it's actually a party line, not some kind of clean out or storm drain connection or something odd like that, it would be the house to the right. I'm sorry, if you're looking at the front of the home from the street, I apologize. Looking at the front door, it would be the house to the right. And opposite if you're the way I was talking about it, I apologize. You know, that might actually be 6-inch pipe there. It does appear to be making a diameter change. It's kind of a hard one to tell because you've got old pipe meeting up with new pipe, which have different dimensions to them. I'm going to call it 4-inch. I'll put 6-inch or possibly 6-inch on the report. You've got some pretty heavy scale buildup here inside the cast iron pipe. It's very, very rough, bumpy and pitted on the inside. And cast iron will often create a rust layer on the inside of it. This is all the way around the circumference of the pipe. It's not that it's not still working, but from an inspection standpoint, the line appears to be nearing the end of its lifespan. You've got heavy rust flakes at the top of the pipe as well, which is usually the last part of the cast iron to start wearing out on you. Well, I would recommend that be updated. Again, it's still functioning, but I would recommend that be updated. And that stuff there is underneath the deck boards. I can't locate it properly. And then this section of pipe we're going through right now has a bunch of debris buildup in it. I'm having a hard time telling the pipe material. It looks like ABS. Hopefully it's not Orangeburg. And the toilet downstairs is not hooked up right now, but I was running the bathtub. I'm not sure if that section ties in there. What I would recommend, though, because all that cast iron does go back into the home, is a full update basically from the bottom of the vent stack out to the 3034 transition. And just take care of it all at once. If you're already going to have to go in there and swap the cast iron out, I would make sure that the rest of it gets updated too. Again, it looks like it's ABS. It's hard to tell because there's a lot of buildup in the flow line, and it doesn't appear to be bellied out because there's not much standing water there. There's just a bunch of junk collected in that section. That would be my recommendation. As for the 3034 PVC pipe, that stuff still appears to be in good condition, or is in good condition. It's much newer, has good flow. And overall, the line does have adequate flow at this time, but my reasoning for recommending the update to the cast iron is you have very heavy rust scale buildup, which often indicates, especially when you start getting it at the top of the pipe, that often indicates your cast iron is wearing out. If repairs aren't done, I'd keep an eye on the sewer line. I'd rescope it about every 2 years just to keep an eye on it. But that rough cast iron, because of how jagged it is, it tends to snag debris up and clogs a whole lot easier than a smooth pipe product. You know, even like newer cast iron is far smoother than that, but that's the beauty of newer plastic pipe, is it's smooth on the inside, tends not to snag up. And if you do any repair work, make sure a rescope is done to check the work.